Retailers in Nelson have had enough over what they say is a lack of action over long-term vagrant Lewis Stanton, who's been camped outside a Central City store for months now. It's been a prime spot for Mr Stanton, who spent years living rough in various locations around Nelson. Police and the City Council have failed to resolve the matter, so now retailers have threatened to take it into their own hands. Here's our Nelson reporter, Tracy Neal.
Mr Stanton's protest has seen him camp on public land around Nelson for decades. In recent times, he's been angered by the council's attempt to trespass him from almost all its public land and mad at the SPCA, which is caring for his horse Barney after it was taken from him. He's been imprisoned, ticketed and talked about for years, but still he keeps coming back. And, as he recently told Checkpoint, he believes he's not after much.
Start communicating. That would be the number one thing. They have to be accountable for the actions that they created that started all this off.
Retailers describe Lewis Stanton's behaviour as threatening and antisocial. At the moment, he lives outside the Farmers store in Trafalgar Street. The building is owned by inner-city retailers spokesperson Gare Thompson, who spoke at the public forum of a recent council meeting. He reckons there's a simple solution.
There needs to be a change in the bylaw which enables the police and other people like the fire brigade to act. At the moment we have very little success with approaching both those authorities because they say it's down to the council to sort the problem.
Travel agency owner Lynette Stevenson and pharmacy owner Renata Schrader told councillors Mr Stanton is a frightening character. Surf shop owner John Hogan says while Mr Stanton does have a right to protest, the issue is where he does it. Mr Hogan has encouraged other retailers to follow his example by hanging laundry outside their shops in protest, saying the situation is unfair on the businesses paying massive rents for prime central city space.
Does his right outweigh the rights of all these other people who employ staff, and if they're not there, that's more people out of work? I think his right doesn't outweigh the rights of all these other, not just individuals, but collective group that are hurting financially from him.
Mr Thompson's wife Nanette says if nothing's done, she'll take matters into her own hands.
Whether he goes at me or not, I don't care a rat's ass. I'm going to give it a go. And I'm sick of it. Now we've got retailers hanging their washing out. And it's all right saying, people, I have empathy with you. I don't care about your empathy. I want something to happen.
Mayor Rachel Reese, re-elected at the weekend for a second term, says she spoke with John Hogan after the meeting and explained the legal complexities confronting the council. She agrees the situation needs to be resolved urgently. She's asked the council's chief executive to review options around ensuring a people-friendly, vibrant central city.
I don't think living on the main street is consistent with that, but I have to recognise that New Zealand law provides a lot of freedoms to individuals, and no council can break the law. We have to comply with the law, so we're seeking some legal advice on what is possible within the constraints of the law.
Ms Reese says she's yet to have the discussion with the new council, but it's high on the list. In Nelson for Checkpoint, Tracy Neal.